Hello guys, I hope you all are doing good. I am Vaishali Khan and we are discussing the electronics engineering. Today in this video, we are going to talk about the different types of solid state materials. So what are the different type of materials we are going to see in this video? So this video is going to be really interesting one and I hope you will be staying with me till the end and you will be getting a lot of new information. So first of all, we are going to classify the material based upon the conductivity. So based upon the conductivity, I will be having the different types of material. If I change the material, its conductivity will be different. For different materials, I will be having different conductivities. So now I have broadly classified the materials as insulators, conductors or semiconductors based upon its conductivity, right? So conductivity is represented by sigma and sigma is less than even 10 raised to power minus 8 Simon per centimeter for insulators. And for example, I have a diamond. Diamond's conductivity is 10 raised to power minus 14 Siemens per centimeter. Right, so diamond is an insulator. Now coming to the conductor, conductors are having higher conductivity. You can see the insulators are having very less conductivity, right? But on the other hand, conductor will be having the higher conductivity which is greater than 10 raised to power 3 Siemens per centimeter. So I can have the example for silver. Silver is having the conductivity 10 raised to power 6 Siemens per centimeter, which is a very good conductivity. Silver is a very conductive material. Then we have the semiconductor. Semiconductor, as the name suggests, is not a fully conductor, it's a semiconductor. So it is having the conductivity in between 10 raised to power minus 8, which was there for insulator. If I go below this, I will be having insulator. And in between 10 raised to power 3. So if I go above 10 raised to power 3, I will be having conductor. So in between insulator and conductor, I will be having the semiconductor. And for example, I have silicon whose conductivity is varying between 10 raised to power minus 5 to 10 raised to power 3. So now you can see these are the energy band diagram for metals, or I can say conductor. So for conductors, the energy band diagram would be like this. This is my valence band and this is my conduction band. Okay, so for insulators, you can see valence band and conduction band are having the bigger energy gap. Here the valence band is overlapping with the conduction band, and here in the semiconductor the energy gap is in between the conductors and the insulators. So you can see here we have the conduction band, below one is the valence band. So this is the energy band diagram. For the conductor, you can see we have the conduction band and the valence band which are overlapping. So the electrons are there in the valence band always. So because it is overlapping with the conduction band, we will be having almost every time the electrons to be present in the conduction band. So we have almost full conduction band in the case of conductors, and we have the zero energy gap in between the conduction band and the valence band. On the other hand, if I have the insulator, we have completely empty conduction band, right? So valence band and conduction band will be having very high energy gap, which is 9 electron volts. So 9 electron volt is a very high energy gap which is present in between the valence and the conduction band. Right, after that we have semiconductor. So for the semiconductor, we have the valence band and the conduction band which are having the energy gap nearly equal to 1 electron volt. And we have almost full valence band but almost empty conduction band. Some of the electrons from the valence band might jump to the conduction band also in this case. So I hope you understood the different cases. In the conductor we have almost full conduction band, in the insulator we have fully empty conduction band, in the case of semiconductor we have almost empty conduction band. So now coming to the first type of material, that is the insulator. What are the different properties of the insulator? Insulator do not allow the passage of electric current, and if a substance is not allowing the electric current to pass through it, I will call it as insulator. If I try to supply electric current through this and it is not able to supply the electric current, it is not giving the path for the electric current to propagate through it, it is called the insulator. For example, I have wood, glass, plastic or rubber, right? So here the valence band would be full and the conduction band would be empty. So this thing we have already seen, energy gap is very high In some cases it would be 15 electron volt even. So at that scenario you can understand that it is a very high energy and the electron from the valence band never will reach to the conduction band, right? So if I have the higher electric field, so it may push the electron from valence band to conduction band, and for that we require a very high electric field, right? So I can say the conductivity is very less. The current will not pass because the current will pass through the electrons which are present in the conduction band, and if the electrons are not there in the conduction band, how would current pass? So it will be having decreased electrical conductivity. Right, at the room temperature, electron in the valence band can never jump to the conduction band. But if I give higher temperature, so at the higher temperature, some electron will move to the conduction band from the valence band because of higher kinetic energy of the electron. So they can jump, right, at the higher temperature. So I can say at the higher temperature, resistance is decreasing, or I can say conductivity will be increasing, because in the conduction band now I will be having some electrons. So resistance is decreasing with the higher temperature. So I can say in this case I will be having negative temperature coefficient of resistance. The resistance will decrease if I increase the temperature. Now coming to the conductors. Conductors will easily allow the passage of electric current, because in the conduction band I will be having almost full electrons. Conduction band will be almost full with the help of electrons. So we have the very easy path provided to the current. So current will flow in a very easy manner inside the conductor, and for example I have copper, aluminium, silver also. So we have large number of free electrons available in the conduction band. So the conduction band electrons are now easy to move. They are able to move from one point to another, and this is how the current can easily pass through it, and it will be having very high conductivity. So conductivity will be very high in this case. Valence band and conduction band are overlapping in this case, right? We have already seen it. So even a slight difference across a conductor will cause the free electron to make the electric current. So we don't require very high amount of conditions or very significant amount of condition for the flow of electric current. Only the slight difference can make the electric current to pass through it. And what about resistance? Resistance will decrease if temperature will increase. So resistance and temperature are inversely related, and here we will be having positive temperature coefficient of resistance, right? So I hope you understood the conductors really well. So now coming to the last type of material, that is semiconductor. So in the semiconductor, the electric conductivity lies between the conductor and insulator. We have seen it, right? So with the electrical conductivity measurements also we have seen it. So for example, I have germanium, I have silicon. Here the valence band would be almost filled and the conduction band will be almost empty, but it is not fully empty, right? So I can say I will be having small current, energy gap would be small. So small energy gap is present between valence band and conduction band, which is nearly equal to 1 electron volt. So it behaves like an insulator at the low temperature, but if I increase the temperature, at the room temperature, some electron reaches to the conduction band from the valence band, which provides its conductivity. So at the room temperature, it will start behaving like a conductor, but at a low temperature, it behaves like an insulator. Again, the resistance is going to decrease as I increase the temperature. Again, it is having the negative temperature coefficient of resistance. So I hope you understood all of the three types of material and how we classified them and what is the difference between all of them. If you have any doubt, you can put the doubt in the comment and I will be trying to resolve your doubt as soon as possible. I hope you like this session. If you like it, please push the like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends and also give me your feedback. Thank you so much.